Miss Princess at the Upper West Library. I have to talk really fast because there's so much to say about this book. So it's called Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys. This is an alternate cover, and the shoes have a meaning in this book, but I don't know. Yeah. All right, so this is historical fiction, and I know that's not a favorite for YAs, but this is a story that will just pull at your heartstrings and make you cry. So if you're a person who likes realistic fiction like that, I think you will like this. It's also a disaster story because it's about the sinking of the Wilhelm Gustave, which was a cruise ship being used as a passenger ship to help people escape as the Soviets were overrunning an area. And they put 10,000 people on this ship, and more than 9,000 of them died when it was sunk. So it's still the worst maritime disaster in history, worse than the Lusitania, Sultania, Titanic, all of them combined. More people died in this than like 5 or 6 other disasters shipwrecks we know of that most people think nothing of. Think, oh, that's a disaster. This was far worse. All right, so it is set in what was East Prussia, which doesn't exist anymore, but was between Lithuania and Poland. It is occupied by the Germans, technically, but the Soviets are in the process of overrunning it. And so people are fleeing. They need to get out, and Hitler and the Nazis organized an operation to send all these ships to try and get people out, even knowing that they were not going to be able to get everybody out. So they send this Wilhelm Gustave, which is a German cruise ship that Hitler had built in like 1938. It hadn't been used for 4 years because of the war, but they were using it because it could fit like over 2,000 passengers, but they put more than 10,000 passengers on the ship. Literally just stacked them in. So we get points of view from 4 characters. There's more characters we get to know, but these are the 4 characters. So there's Amelia, who's Polish and has to hide it, and they steal the papers. Not she doesn't, but somebody else does it for her. Steals the papers of a Latvian girl. Otherwise, she's never going to get passage on this ship. There's Florian, who rescues Amelia, which then he can't get rid of her because of it. Now, people are like, why is he not serving in the German army? Because they think he's German, but it turns out he's probably Prussian, but he still should be serving in the German army, but he's on a secret mission. And then there's, we would say Joanna, but it's pronounced Joanna, I believe. She's of Lithuanian descent, but she also has German ancestry on her mother's side, which allows her the option of getting back to Germany, and meaning getting away from the Soviets, which they all desperately want to do. And then the last point of view we get is Albert Frick, who is a low-ranking German soldier serving on the Wilhelm Gustave, and he is a perfect example of an unreliable narrator because he's got these grandiose, this is what I'm doing, but we know that's not what he's doing. So it's just World War II. We learn about all these different horrors of World War II, and this is something I read about, like Poland that was occupied by the Germans and then the Soviets, and kind of went back and forth, and the horrors of that, like neither one was worse, but these people were just, and it wasn't just people of German descent trying to get out. It was, like I said, Lithuanians who had maybe a little bit of German in them, and other people just desperately trying to escape the Soviets. And just the Soviets are bombing them as they're trying to get to the seaport. When they're at the seaport trying to get passage, there's no guarantee you're going to get passage, and if you don't get passage in this first round, you're probably never going to get it. So just the desperate situation these people are all in to get to the port, and then to even get passage and then to have this ship be sunk. I read this when it first came out because I had read another one of her books, which is equally as awesome and sad. But this book just still, reading it again, just kind of gut-wrenching, made me cry. So maybe this is not your cup of tea, but if you like realistic books that make you cry, I think you will like this book, even though it's historical. If you like disaster stories or historical fiction, I think you will enjoy this. But I know that's not everybody's cup of tea, so I will help you find something else, even though I think everybody should read this book. So have a fantastic day. Keep on reading.